Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Hope you're all well. It is something like, I'm not even sure what date it is, something like, I don't know, Saturday the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th of March. And by the time this video goes up, we are probably talking about the 4th of April. So I do apologise about that. I've got videos well in advance. But yeah, in this one, we're heading over to America. Actually, it could be even later than that. This could be well later than that. I don't know. But anyway, we're looking at a beer from America, and it's a beer that I got from Brew Export UK. Placed an order with them. 11 beers, come to £82, I think it was. So not cheap, but there were some big beers in there, and this is one of them big beers. Now, obviously, you're going to pay more for the import and that, and it's from a brewery that I've never had anything from before, and it is from Anchorage Brewing Company. Excuse me if I look a little bit tipsy. I wouldn't say I'm tipsy, but I have had about 4 or 5 pints. And it's from Anchorage Brewing Company, out of Anchorage, I'm going to guess. And we are taking a look at their Double Pie Assassin. So there we go. I'll show you that part. It's a double India Pale Ale coming in at 8.4%. This is the artwork. There we go. Looks fantastic. It's a USA or an American, why did I say USA? It's an American pint can, 473ml. Oh, we got one of those little black pulley things on there, which is quite nice. Love the colours on there, love the artwork. And this probably set me back in the region of about £8 to £8.50. Possibly even a little bit more, I don't know. But imported, like I say, from America, a double IPA, which you are going to pay good money for these days. Probably, if you want to get a really good sort of solid UK IPA, in my opinion, for what I like, you're probably looking £7. So if I've paid £8 to £8.50, I'm not going to argue. So, like I say, first one from them. There we go. There's the artwork again. Let's get it cracked open. It's been in the fridge ever since I got it. I don't have an Anchorage Brewing Company glass, so I'm going to whack it in the old Collective Art glass. There we go. Who are a USA brewery, and this is their Mark Gamble, who must be a 10-pin bowler glass. So yeah, I'm going to stop talking. We're going to get cracked open and see what we get, and I'm really looking forward to this. When I bought the order, or when I looked online and I looked at these beers, I pretty much looked not so much at the brewery or the ABV or the price. It was when they were showing me a picture of the beer, and to me, if I remember rightly, this beer looked absolutely stunning in the glass in the picture, and I'm hoping it's still going to look stunning in this glass. So let's get it poured. Apologies for talking too much. Maybe don't look as thick as what I was thinking, but that said, right, I'm going to leave it there. So beer in a glass. Yeah, it doesn't look as bright and bold as maybe the image was showing. Can't really tell the date on the can. They don't tend to have a best before date. They have a sort of like a canned on date. But beer in a glass. Does it look like a double IPA? Well, it wasn't maybe what I was expecting. I was hoping for something like real thick, bright, bold, juicy. It's amber in colour. We got about a finger of head that's quite compact. Murky, hazy, and it actually probably looks exactly the same my side as it does on the screen. I would say there's very little difference there. So let's dive in with the nose, give it a swirl. Will it change when I get the rest in? We'll have to wait and see. But let's give it a swirl, have a sniff, and see what we get on the aroma. Okay. Now I'm wondering, I can't read all this stuff on the side, and I'm not sure how much it's giving away. It's saying Double Pie Assassin. And you're seeing sort of like a lemon meringue sort of, or banoffee sort of pie thing going on the can, and on the nose, there is that pastry feel. It's not a big juice bomb like I was maybe thinking. Sweet, slightly sweet, vanilla, pastry feel to it, doughy on the nose. Even maybe a little bit of sort of like a lemon meringue pie. Smells very different, but still smells very good, it's got to be said. Why sniff anymore? Let's get the rest out the can. Let's see what changes, and let's see what it tastes like. Because I am now very intrigued. It doesn't smell anything like I really expected. There was a slight dankness on the initial first sniff of it. There we go. That's what it looks like. So let's dive in. And Anchorage Brewing Co. Their Double Pie Assassin Double India Pale Ale coming in at a whopping 8.4% ABV. I hope this is a good one. Cheers. Oh, that's different. Not what I expected. Not what I expected. And initial thoughts, I'm going to say I feel slightly disappointed to a certain extent. I do feel slightly disappointed. Double Pie Assassin. I was hoping for a massive juice bomb, and I'm kind of not getting that, it's got to be said. Let's go in again. Yeah, something don't sit right with me on this one. And my head is getting drawn to that double pie thing. Almost like I can't help but get the idea that it could be a pastry double IPA. %8.4%. It's got a nice body. Has it got the body of an 8.4% double IPA? In my opinion, no. That could come down to what I was maybe expecting. So I'm slightly disappointed there. The carbonation is very busy. Lots of small bubbles, but you really feel that carbonation on the palate. I'm not going to say it's harsh carbonation, but it's like there is just millions of small bubbles. There's so many sort of small bubbles in this that you really feel the carbonation. Whereas normally real small bubbles, you get a nice smoothness about it. I'm kind of not getting that from this. There's so many small bubbles, it's giving it a rough edge. That said, the liquid in the beer and what have you is very smooth. The actual liquid, you can sort of separate the carbonation from the actual beer, and the beer is actually very smooth until you sort of really get hit with that carbonation, and that does roughen it up a bit. So again, a little bit disappointing there for me. Like I say, it is a very smooth sort of drinking experience, but the carbonation does rough it up a touch more because of how much is in it rather than how big and rough the carbonation is. On the taste, it's a tough one. I got so many things going through my mind, and I'm wondering whether it's because I'm thinking it's this or I'm thinking it's that. For me, I feel like I'm getting a sweet edge to it, and again, I'm getting drawn to this pastry side of it. as if it's like a bit of a pastry sour feel, but in a double IPA. A slight sweetness going on in there, a sweet maltiness going on. And then there's a bitterness on the back end. It's really hard, this one, because there's lots, it's almost like there's lots of things going on in this beer that are very different, and maybe to my taste buds don't necessarily work, which is downright frustrating. Just because it wasn't what I expected, really, rather than the cost or anything. The beer is, for me, the beer is good. If you look at it as a brewing experience, I think what they've done with the beer, there is nothing wrong with it. But down to personal taste, I'm not sure it actually sort of really works so much. It's hoppy. Yeah, I just can't say it really works. I mean, I expected so much more from this. I expected, you know, when I ordered this, I looked at the pictures and I thought, my God, that looks like this massive thick juice bomb. And me saying £8 to £8.50, I could even be wrong. It could have even been a little bit more. I don't know. But for me, I feel a little bit disappointed. Even though the body's good, it's not a big 8.4 juicy sort of good. The carbonation, even though the beer is actually smooth, the carbonation with small bubbles and that, there feels like so much fizz going on, it sort of roughens it up a bit. There's not that big juicy note. There's sort of like a sweet side, which it's almost like a vanilla sweet side that doesn't work with it. It's like it's got nothing to back it up. I don't want to say it's a really shit beer, because it ain't, but it's just it's not what I expected, and maybe that is a big issue with this. 8.4%. Do you get that? I'm waffling on now, 13 minutes in. The 8.4, I wouldn't say is massively there, but you do get that hint of the alcohol, because you're not getting them sweet, juicy fruit notes. There's a little bit of dankness in there. There's bitterness in there. There's that odd sort of sweetness. And I think when you've got that dankness and that bitterness and that ABV, you need sweet, juicy notes, in my opinion, to sort of mellow that out and carry that ABV through. I don't think this is giving that. I don't think it works with that sort of malty, slightly sweet sort of pastry sort of feel to it, that's how I feel I'm getting. Shoot me down in flames if you totally disagree, but that's how I feel I'm getting it. And I think with every double IPA, a good double IPA, it's either got to be full on hoppy or big and juicy to sort of carry that alcohol. And I don't think this one, it almost doesn't have either. It has a hoppiness, but with a funny kind of back tone to it in the flavour, but it doesn't have that juiciness. And I really expected this one to be a big juice bomb. And for me, it's not delivering. It's a good beer, but I think this is going to be a Marmite one that maybe certain people will like and certain people won't. And for me, so disappointed, so disappointed. Like I say, from the picture, I thought it was going to be amazing. You look at the can, you think that is going to be outstanding. I've had 4 or 5 pints now. I thought this is going to end my night lovely because I'm working tomorrow. And I feel a little bit robbed. I do feel a little bit robbed. It's a shame. This was supposed to be my end of night beer. This was supposed to be my last beer, and it makes me feel like I want to have another one now to get over that slight disappointment. But hey ho, that is how it goes. Anchorage Brewing Company and their Double Pie Assassin Double India Pale Ale, 8.4% ABV. Yeah, I've got to say, I'm just in general, overall disappointed. It's not the worst beer you're ever going to drink, don't get me wrong. But you want more for your money, in my opinion, on this one. So there you go. There's my thoughts on it. If you've had this beer before, let me know your thoughts. Would I recommend it? Do you know what? I'm not going to say don't get it. I'm not going to say buy it. But if you're one of them that likes a big, thick, juicy juice bomb double IPAs, I don't think this one's going to be up your street. That's all I can say. So there you go. Thank you all for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. 16 minutes in. See you again soon on another one. Cheers.